can manifest things, you know what I'm saying, with your thoughts and your words and by believing and having a vision.
What is your favorite movie and series?
My favorite movie is the entire Star Wars the trilogy series, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I love Star Wars. Very futuristic. And then, did you ask me and series? You did? Okay. The Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead. They need to put me on there one day. Matter of fact, I'll be a zombie. Matter of fact, I'll be regular and get bit and then turn into a zombie.
So why Star Wars?
Star Wars because it's so far into the future, man. Like I've always imagined the world looking like robots and androids and aliens and shit, like kind of getting along and living in harmony. You know what I'm saying? They probably do already, you know. But that's how I see the future. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Star Wars has always brought that to life since I was a kid. You know.
You chose Walking Dead because you wanted to be in Walking Dead, or why?
I want to be in Walking Dead because I love zombies and I love like scary stuff. You know what I'm saying? I love like horror and stuff like that. Of course, I used to like scary movies, but over time they kind of start going downhill. I don't know if it's because I'm older now. I'm just not scared. You know what I'm saying? But like I like shit like that. You know.
What are some books you would encourage other people to read?
So I love reading. I was horrible at math, you know what I'm saying? Reading is my #1 subject, and that's why I'm so smart, and I got all this wisdom, you know what I'm saying? But recently, my girl got me this book called Power versus Force, and she actually got it for me because she heard Lauren London got it for Nip, you know what I'm saying? And Nip was like a very big reader, you know what I'm saying? Like, not half, probably like 10 out of those 60 books that are on that Nipsey Hussle reading book list. If you Google that, you should Google that. Yeah, I've knocked out like 10 out of those 60, and Power versus Force is like the most recent one. Another book, I'm trying to remember. Okay, well, The Alchemist, for sure. The Alchemist will help you like with your journey, you know what I'm saying? The Secret is a great book that teaches you about like the law of attraction. Ask and It Was Given. I forgot the author, but I saw Big Sean mention it in an interview back when I was like in high school, and he said that it changed his life. Like, that's how he manifested meeting Kanye, you know what I'm saying? So I've been reading that book since I was like 16, and my entire life has like changed for the better, you know what I'm saying? So I just read a lot of conscious books, a lot of spiritual books, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
And what videos do you suggest?
Pretty much all the Nipsey Hussle interviews for sure. But the first 20 minutes of The Secret, that'll pretty much explain to you, I feel, everything that every individual needs to know in this world because, like your thoughts are very powerful and you can manifest things, you know what I'm saying, with your thoughts and your words and by believing and having a vision, you know what I'm saying? If you write something down, if you speak it, it'll come into your reality, you know what I'm saying? So every person that wants to be great in this world, they need to watch that video because all the successful people that we look up to, that we grew up on, that's how they figured it out. You know what I'm saying? The Secret. They realize our thoughts is like energy, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I would recommend.
What gem did you take away from as far as watching the Nipsey videos?
Ownership, you know what I'm saying, and giving back to like your community, you know. I used to work at the Marathon store probably like 3 years ago. Like it wasn't like an everyday thing. It was just like an every now and then thing. Like if they needed extra hands, you know what I'm saying. And so just being around him, you kind of see how he runs the store, like his new ideas. Like if you scan the tag on the clothing or something, like I think like the video or something like that pops up on the phone, you know what I'm saying? So just learning that, you know, like Nip the type of nigga to always be like, all right, you want to rap, you want to make some money, right? I mean, no, you want to rap where you got to have money like behind you, and don't wait on like no label to invest into you, invest into yourself first. Get your own shit up off the ground. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I took away for sure.
What are your views on climate change and how to take action?
So climate change is probably one of the biggest issues that I'm like involved in as far as like looking for a solution. You know, cause I mean like nigga, who I'm a rap for if we don't have a planet to live on? You know what I'm saying? Like facts. Like we all want to do everything and live and have fun, but what planet are we gonna live on if the planet is like destroying itself because we're destroying the planet? So like probably just like reduce like your plastic waste and plant more trees, because that soaks up all the bad shit. I don't want to use the wrong words, you know what I'm saying? So, and cleaning up the ocean. There's this thing online called like the ocean cleanup. So every month or every couple months, I like donate some money to them, and they collect like all the plastic that's like in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Or shit, I'll donate some money to get some trees planted. You know what I'm saying? So there's different ways you can affect it. You just gotta find the right way. You know, I'm not too much into like politics and stuff like that, but I am paying attention to what presidential candidates are like trying to do something about climate change. You know, so.
I noticed on social media you talk about the law of attraction. For those who don't know or understand, can you expound?
Okay. So the law of attraction is pretty much like, yeah, I think I did say some of this earlier, but like anything that you envision in your mind, if you write it down, if you speak it, it can manifest into your reality. So like what I believe in is like, you know, we have these different like religions, you know what I'm saying? And like, but really most of these religions have like one thing in common. They kind of like serve like a higher power or something like that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, this is just me, you know, and from my experience, I feel like God created the universe and then became the universe, and then I feel like we like dispersed into like multiple energy expansions like of that one source. So because of that, I feel like we have a connection to that higher power, to that source, which became the universe, and that's why like the tongue and words is like powerful, you know what I'm saying? Like you can literally speak anything into existence, you can picture it, you can write it down, you know what I'm saying? This shit that I rapped about that I see happen today, you know what I'm saying? This shit I rapped about before it even happened in life, and I manifest it happening, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, change your life with that, for sure.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yes, I definitely believe in aliens, like, cause I feel like the universe is just like way too big. It's way too big, and there's too many other planets and stars and shit like that for there not to be something else out there. And shit, they can look just like us. You know what I'm saying? They can hop off the spaceship and look just like a human. You know what I'm saying? Or have a culture and be living, you know, having clothes and music and entertainment, like all that. And that's why I love Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? That brought that. Right, you know?
If you had to call out 10 artists to work with, who would it be?
I was looking forward to a type of question like this. Shit, Kanye, for sure. I still wish I could. I still wish I could have got a record in with Nip, for sure. I want to work with Kid Cudi, Travis Scott. Who else? Damn, I gotta be careful. Andre 3000. You know. Probably like Frank Ocean, you know what I'm saying? I'll be at Coachella, holla at the kid, you know what I'm saying? What's that? Is that 8? Is that like 7, 8? Maybe. Who else? I'll do a song with like Rihanna or like Beyonce or something. You know, I'd want a song with like all the greats, all the heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying? And then last one, 10th. Shit, my little homie Cash Page. Facts, cause she's definitely gonna reach like GOAT status. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the homie. We kick it every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Every couple of days or whatever the fuck. Blow a little something, put some ideas out there. I try to give game and be a big homie. You know what I'm saying? And help out with whatever I can help out with. But shit, at some point, I think, at some point it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Like whether that's just years from now, like whenever. But we're both gonna be like on the level of Kanye and Travis Scott and all these other niggas we be listening to, for sure.
Besides LeBron, who's your favorite player?
My nigga Michael Kaiser. You know what I'm saying? And who else? Derrick Rose, Dwayne Wade, Luka. I like Luka. You know what I'm saying? Who else? I don't know. I used to fuck with Ben Wallace, heavy defense. You know what I'm saying? Pistons.
You're a defense.
Yeah.
Word.
I was growing up until I learned how to like shoot and shit. And then my uncle was like, damn, he learned how to shoot. This nigga don't play defense no more. That nigga Ron be getting on my ass. Yeah. Yeah.
Name some of the cities you performed in, and what was your favorite one?
I've performed in, when I was little, I did something in New York. I performed in Atlanta. Tampa, Florida was probably the second most lit show I've ever done. It was actually opening it up for Post Malone when the White Iverson stuff first dropped. But actually, Dallas has been, like, I've had my most lit shows in Dallas, to be real. Like, niggas be complaining about, like, the shows in Dallas and shit, but it's like, either niggas is gonna, like, either like, rage to your stuff, or they're gonna observe you, or they're gonna boo you. So as long as they don't boo you, like, then you've had a great show. But I've had, like, the rage and the mosh pits and shit like that all in Dallas. I performed in Boston.
How was B-Town?
It was cool. I didn't know if they were gonna like appreciate me or not. You know what I'm saying? A lot of other people. Yeah, it was a small intimate setting. I didn't know if they were gonna fuck with me. They did though. I was grateful. And where else? Like New Mexico. Like there's some other places. Like LA, duh. I mean, other places too. Safari funny as hell. If y'all can see her behind the camera, she is funny as hell.
With recent success of selling out your headlining shows, can we still expect a Chromatic Fest in the near future?
Yeah, Chromatic Fest, that's definitely coming. I'm trying to I want to put on some local artists for that Chromatic Fest, but I also want to get a couple big headliners. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, maybe like a Trippie Redd, a Young Thug, or something. Like I don't know. But yeah, I'll probably start pushing my yearly shows around my birthday time. Turn into a Chromatic Fest birthday bash or some shit. I don't know. It's gonna be dope. Get your tickets.
So you mentioned Kanye as one of your, somebody you want to collaborate with. So I'm gonna compound with this. So what's your stance on mental health?
Mental health is a big issue for many humans, but in the black community, it's kind of swept under the rug. So yeah, I think we need to start paying more attention to that, paying attention to how the kids are feeling, what's going on in their lives, checking on them, because that turns into the adults within the society, and then you're either on the right track or you've experienced some fucked up shit when you were younger, and then it turns you into on the negative side, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's good to look into that at a very young age, and I think black people shouldn't be ashamed to look into depression, or if you're bipolar or shit, schizophrenic, shit, mental health, check on your health, just period, you know?
What does Chromatic eat?
Chromatic eats lots of seafood. I guess I'm a pescatarian, pretty much. I like greens, you know what I'm saying? As far as just veggies and fruit, you know what I'm saying? Lobster, fish, shrimp, lobster, you know what I'm saying? That's what Chromatic eats. I stay away from I try to stay away from like the pork and the beef and stuff like that. If I sin and eat that horrible, disgusting shit, it's like every once in a while. I don't eat that shit every day. I eat healthy every day for the most part.
So you're not red meat at all?
Nah, not at all. Cause really, that shit's like killing you, and it's like it's linked to some of the cancers. I don't know. It's linked to cancer and other bad shit. You know what I'm saying? It hurts you.
Can you explain the tweet from back in the day between you and the Twitter exchange between you and Vince Staples?
So pretty much, I don't know how long ago this was, but I dropped like the Saga video on World Star and shit, and it hit like 1.4 million views. And I was chilling with my nigga Ron one day, and we was just looking at new videos that had dropped on World Star probably like, I don't know, a week or two after. And then he's smiling because he really don't know this story. Like, so we just chilling and we looking at the videos, and I was like, oh, damn, this is a good video. And then the video kept going. I was like, damn, this look like my shit. And then it just, I don't know, bro. It was like 6 different scenes, and I was like, bro, hell no. I saw that shit. I was like, hell no. I was like, bro, either this nigga or somebody that this nigga know, like, took my whole like video treatment and shit. But now whether they actually did or didn't, like, I don't know. I don't have no for sure proof of that. You know what I'm saying? I did post like screenshots from like my video and his video one morning on Twitter after talking to my PR and shit, and he actually like responded and shit and was like pretty much saying that like he didn't steal my shit, and I asked his videographer if he stole my shit, and he said he was like, I don't know who you are, bro, like his videographer and shit, kind of trying to disrespect me and shit. So then his fans started like coming for me and shit. Little did they know what they dumbass, that they was running up my views and shit and giving me like all the extra clout and shit. So then Vince actually reposted the video on his Twitter and left it up on his Twitter for like a couple weeks. And I was just getting views and getting hit up like every day. So I just dropped it after that because I was like, that nigga he didn't even have to shout out my shit, you know what I'm saying? So whether he actually did or did not steal my shit, he still posted my shit and got me hella views. So I just left it alone. And then that was that. So it's definitely no beef. I appreciate the fucking retweet and shit. It ain't no beef.
That's how he didn't have to do it, but yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't have to do that shit. I got respect for that nigga, for sure.
So what was it like growing up and pursuing music in Dallas, Texas?
Shit, kind of hard because like you're switching through the different sounds and eras and shit. Like when I first started doing music on the Dallas scene, it was like the jigging boogie shit, you know, with niggas like Young Nation and DMV and We Work and all them niggas. I was actually in We Work, except I didn't jig or dance. Niggas used to want to get me to dance, but I wouldn't do it. It was like, how you gonna be in We Work and you not dancing? Niggas used to have jigging battles and shit, nigga. I was just a rapper. So I go to like Club Lotus and like the Stadium and it's another club that was in Cedar Hill. I can't even remember, but I used to go to these parties and just rap my shit. Niggas would jig to my shit, and then that's how I got started. Eventually, that shit like died out. But so then I just went with what I always knew, which was like, you know, Kanye's my favorite artist. So I've always been making shit that sounds like that in that realm. So I just went back to that, and then now I'm here. So, but I think really you just gotta develop a fan base, like a core fan base, and have them grow with you. I made a lot of fans at college, you know what I'm saying? Dropped a mixtape, was on some futuristic like dubstep shit, you know? And I don't know. Like, I see all those same fans today at my shows, from high school, college, to now. So, you'll get the fan base if you put in the work, you know? And I don't know. It's kind of difficult in Dallas because niggas want like an opportunity. Like, we're not like the mecca for like music or film or fashion. Like the independent and local artists and shit, we create this shit, you know what I'm saying? So like we are the Hollywood in this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But it's good for as far as like, I don't know. It's good to have a career out here, but it's just like it's like you're not gonna run into like a Jay-Z out here or nothing. We're just not getting record labels out here like Def Jam trying to sign niggas and shit and like High Standards and shit like that. I've never signed nobody. I'm still independent, but you know, it's cool. You can get somewhere out here, you know.
What's some ways you've been involved with your community in Dallas?
So that's probably one of my one of the things I care like most about is how I can impact the city, especially Dallas. Like, and to kind of go back on like when I grew up on the music scene out here. At first, it was kind of hard to get people to latch on to what I was rapping about and my style and shit, because it wasn't the jigging shit. Like once I was moving out of that, it was just on some whole other shit. So I used to kind of like want to run away from Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Go to like other places. Like, of course, everybody's like LA and New York and Atlanta and shit like that. I tell niggas to go on your journey, but there's no guarantee that going elsewhere will like save you. So you gotta control what you can control, knock on doors, test out different shit. But anyways, like somehow, some way, like the universe just kind of brought me to realize that I need to help build the community up in Dallas. So I spent like a lot of time working with like the Teen Tech Center and shit. It's like I'm in the studio with the youth, like the kids, like little baby chromatics, you know what I'm saying? Helping them construct songs, helping them write songs. Shit, I even took them to like the Mavs game and they got to hear Poison Ivy play my record, or our record rather. And then actually before this interview, like took them to go get like some clothes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to be a part of different things within the community and, you know, build up our youth. Because that's where the future's at, you know? Dallas.